So I thought I'd give a pretty good breakdown on my video that I did about a month ago about delegation, which I will link down below in the description. But this is the exact reason why I love to get the comments and the DMs about all the topics that we discuss here on the channel. In that video, I went in depth on how delegating things on your day-to-day in your business can help it grow substantially, but also it can help you on your day-to-day things if your goal is to spend more time with your family and chilling and resting. From that video, new questions came up. And even though they're related to the video that we were doing, also good enough info so that we can do a video on its own to answer the most common questions, which were, how do I know what to delegate, when to delegate, but most importantly, how do I know what things I still need to be taking care of in my business? So stay tuned. My name is Andrew Pizzi. I'm an investor and entrepreneur out of Las Vegas, and I want to welcome you to the AP Show, where we'll be focusing on how to build a great life around health, wealth, love, and happiness, which I believe are all needed in order for you to have a great life overall and not just in one specific area of your life. Before we jump into the video, I have the same favor to ask from you as every other video. Please hit the like button if you appreciate info like this, where I give you all the research that I've done over the years and all the info that I always try to look for but never found. Since I have created this channel, my goal was never to monetize it because first of all, I don't have any courses or any links in the description that are going to make me any money. My goal with this channel since day one has been to give you as much value as possible through the videos and all the info that I put out here in the channel. I already made my money and I'm making my money with all my other businesses, and so I don't need to monetize with this channel. I just want to give you all the lessons and the mistakes that I've learned along the way, and so please hit the like button so that more people can jump at this journey with us, but also subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss every content that we put every Monday on the channel. Now, with all of that being said, let's jump into the reason why you clicked on this video in the first place. Before we even talk about how to calculate what your time is worth, I want to make sure that you know it's a very simple formula, but there are people that miss certain things that if you stay until the end of the video, I'll make sure that is all clear because those are very important things to take into consideration. First off, we don't even know sometimes what activities to delegate, whether it's on business or in our personal lives, which is the first question that we're going to be addressing here, only because we don't know or we haven't done the math on what those activities are worth versus what our time is worth. I can tell you from my personal experience that a lot of the times what happens with that, and the reason for that, is that as you're coming up in life and you start to make money, you're used and so used to being the one that does every single little thing that you forget to calculate and know when to pivot and start delegating the things that are worth less than what your hour is worth. And again, we'll be addressing later in the video how to calculate what your time is actually worth, but this is very important that you have clear because what happens is that a lot of the times if you don't know and you don't recalculate what your time is worth every single year as you're hopefully going to be making more and more money, you're always going to find yourself doing things and activities that are way below your pay grade. And that's not something that you want to do if you want to grow in business or if you want to have a better personal life overall. Now, here's the thing that I was telling you earlier in the video that most people miss, and in my opinion is one of the most important things that you have to pay attention to when you're trying to calculate what your time is worth or what activities you're going to be delegating. There are things in your life that even if you got paid $0 and technically it wasn't even worth your time doing, you will be doing, and it's okay to do because you're going to be things that fill your heart and make you truly happy. You should be doing the things that make you happy, even if you think that those are things that are not worth doing for you. For example, for me, it's not the same helping my mom get stuff done around the house even though I know that I shouldn't be doing those things. But if you make it you and your mom's project type of thing, then to me it's totally worth it. You're spending time with her. You're not making it your business or your job. You're doing it to spend time with the person that you love. So even though it's a $12 an hour job or task, I would still do it because it's something that makes me happy to be doing with my mom or whoever. Now, I remember early in my career when I started to make real money, I actually started to take my vehicle to the car wash so that somebody could do it for me. Because in my head, I was spending 1 hour of my day washing my car myself instead of paying somebody $25 or $30 and they could do it for me. What I realized quickly was that I actually enjoyed going to the car wash and washing the vehicle myself. And so yes, it wasn't worth my time doing, but it was releasing a lot of stress because I actually found that spending time with just myself washing my vehicle was worth doing it myself, even though it wasn't worth my time. With that, I'm not saying that I did it forever. I actually have somebody go into my office now and they wash my vehicle while I work because I'm so busy right now at this point of my life that I don't have the time to do it anymore. What I'm saying is that when you find things in your life that make you happy, it doesn't matter what level you're at. You need to continue to do those things because you also deserve to be doing those things that make you happy. Now, with all of that out of the way, I want to now give you a real way to calculate what your time is worth. And here's what I was saying, that many people just say that this is an easy formula, and yes, it could be. But I always say that whenever you feel like life is that black and white, you miss things in between that can make you more money or make you more successful or just see life in a different way. The easiest and most popular way to calculate what your time is worth is basically the formula that most people use, which would be to take on an annual or monthly basis, whatever you want to use for your calculation, the amount of money that you made and divide it into the amount of hours that you worked during that time period. For example, if you take 2022 as your example and you say that you made $200,000 in that year and you worked an average of 40 hours a week, which is what the average person works, you can say that you made around $100 an hour. Now, here's where it gets tricky, because if you worked 80 hours a week to get to the $200,000 in 2022, then you only made $50 an hour. On the other hand, if you only worked 20 hours a week and you found a very efficient way to make the same 200,000 that you could have made at 40 hours a week, then you could say that you made $200 an hour. And that's a very important part of the math that you need to be doing. You need to find out how many hours you actually worked to get to the money that you made on the month or year that you're doing the math for. Now, if you find that you're making $200 an hour doing whatever you do, then you can start on the what do I delegate, which would be any tasks that are, let's say, $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, because your time is worth $200 and you have nothing to do by going and doing things that are worth $15, $20, or $30. The last thing I want to say in regards to the tasks and what they're worth and what your time is worth is to always be careful and look deeper into those $20 or $30 an hour tasks, because they could lead into bigger opportunities that you missed if you didn't do them yourself. If it will lead into a bigger opportunity, then you should totally do that task because it's worth your time on the future of the opportunity. Now, I'll give you an example on this. In my insurance company, for example, I sometimes find myself writing a policy for somebody that will only make me $200 to $300 in commission, and it took 2 to 3 hours of my time, when I know that my time is worth right now more like $500 an hour. But sometimes I know that by doing that little sale, that customer is a customer that is an attorney or a doctor or somebody that has a lot of money to invest with me, and I know that that little sale was not worth my time, but then that can lead into a bigger sale in the future that could make me $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000, and then it's worth my time because my time is worth $500 an hour. Now the future sale being $2,000 or $3,000 in commission, then there you go. The math is going to be starting to add up. On the same point, I will say the following as well. The same is true when you open a business. When I first opened my insurance company, I was doing the $5 an hour task, the 10, the 15, the 20. I was cleaning the office, I was filing the paperwork, and I was doing all the things that I shouldn't be doing as the owner of the company. But it's only because when you start a business, you need to be doing all those things. There's no one else. You don't have any employees. Or even if you have one, I wanted that person to be selling for me, not doing the tasks that I was doing. So you always have to look at the bigger picture, because now I don't do those tasks. But from day one, I couldn't not do them. I had to do them. You're starting a business. With all of that being said, hopefully I accomplished the mission of this video, which was to actually give you a reason or a way to find what your time is worth, but also make you realize though that there are things that are technically not worth your time to do them, but you still need to do them because they make you happy. And anything that makes you happy is worth doing. Because again, many people talk about how to not waste time, and I feel like that's good on business. I feel like that also can lead into an unhealthy balance of your life where you don't even enjoy doing the things that you enjoy doing because you think that they're not worth your time. In this channel, the end goal is and should be for everyone, I believe, should be happiness. And so happiness comes sometimes from doing things that are not worth your time. And so with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, and until next time, see you everybody.